Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here, and I'm here with Terror Tuesdays. And this movie is called The Influence. It's a Spanish movie. Don't worry, it's in English, so you don't have to worry about putting any subtitles or anything like that. Unless you speak Spanish and you're okay with movies like that, then fair enough. But yeah, this movie is about a family that moves into, that has to move into like, their relative's home. And, to look after, to care for their dying relative, you could say. And sort of paranormal things start happening. I'm not sure what to make of this movie. It's very difficult to try and know what to make of, because at first I was intrigued, especially with what it's about and stuff like that. The intro I wasn't a fan of. When they show the company names and the logos and stuff like that, I thought that was a bit too long. I get they have to show it to let us know who made it. I felt like it was a bit too long for my liking. And they showed like a spider web, and to be fair, I thought there was going to be some sort of spider in this movie, like some big mutate spider this big. It was just there for decoration part to make it more creepy, I guess. But yeah, onto the movie. We continue it. So yeah, there's paranormal things happening, such as like their dying relative Victoria. That's sort of has some paranormal stuff going on. A door started closing. She's basically like you could say like a witch. So before she passed, she started doing rituals, and there was she started because two of her kids basically, I think it was Sarah, it's pronounced Sarah, but I'm going to say Sarah. So Sarah and I think Alicia was part of it, and another kid of hers I think was part of this ritual, and she actually ripped out one of her kids' teeth and sort of controlled them. And that's kind of like she's trying to control her grandchild Noah, who's also the daughter of Alicia and Mikel. Not Mikel Arteta, a different Mikel. This is a different Mikel. But it'd be quite funny to see Mikel Arteta in a movie like this. And then you have other relatives such as Sal, who I just mentioned. And you also have the uncle and cousin. Didn't quite get their names, to be honest. So they're just and what I'm surprised about, I'm quite surprised about in a movie like this, they're not skeptical about it, because they knew what she was at before, so that makes a bit of a change. There was jump scares in it as well, which, to be fair, they weren't really effective. Like the music still didn't make it scary enough for me. There was one part that made me jump where Mikel goes into a room and Victoria's I just started. Excuse me again. So I just had some digestive, I don't know what you call them, cysts or something like that. I don't know what you say. I know I'm a T2, so. Yeah, so where one of Victoria's eyes starts opening, really like that, opening, and Mikel gets scared. You also have instances where, you hear the radio or something like that go off, and sort of creepiness happens there, such as when Noah is talking with her. That's later on in the movie. I don't want to get into that just yet. And also the time when they tried to open the wardrobe, and because there's something special. Now I'll mention that soon. And yeah, I can say okay, it's such as this one, the ceiling going black, especially where Alicia sleeps, and then Noah getting possessed is kind of creepy too, because Noah comes across somebody that I think it's a ghost. I'm pretty sure it's someone that's it's weird because you see someone at the window, and I thought it was a woman. I thought it was a woman at first. Or I don't know, it's a dude or whatever it was. I don't know, right? And the person like a ghost, that would be the perfect jump scare to have, where she just pops out the window, wow, she just turns back around. Not always the case. She then attacks one of the kids at school viciously. That was kind of brutal. I can't lie on that one. I kind of see why she did it, but then she instigated in a drama. And I don't want to go off topic here, but this is where teachers this is my point, that words shouldn't hurt you, because teachers don't care. The teacher didn't care about one of the kids calling her names and saying some crap to her. Teachers ignored it, but the teacher was definitely well aware of Noah coming up and just attacking her. I don't think she killed her or anything. She just brutally beat her. And yeah, so I think she would I don't think she would have retaliated like that if it wasn't for her getting possessed. And then she comes across this person called Luna, who she sees outside. I didn't think that was Luna. I thought that was somebody else. The height didn't quite match, and I think it is a boy anyway. So basically, he starts talking to her, and I thought he was a ghost. He looked kind of like he just, not being rude, but it looks like he came back from the woods or something, like he was buried and he came back out alive. Yeah, that was creepy already. So, and she connected with him. So I was just like, what's going on here? What's the connection with this boy and what's happening at the moment? And that's when Noah starts to get possessed. Yeah, and then you see like Luna just run up on like a garage trying to repair like the school electricity. Confusing part of this movie is that I didn't realize that school electricity controlled the whole entire town. I didn't know it controlled the electricity right there, which was quite strange. You got to pay. I'm trying to give as much detail as possible because they put in a lot of detail in this movie, but for me it wasn't gripping me enough in the horror. It should have done. And then, because when I read this movie, I kind of misread it as like, because there's a nurse called Anna. I thought Anna was like the one that's going to have these like nightmares, but it's actually Alicia because she's also a nurse. That's what confused me in the description, the IMDb site. So probably need to be a bit more clear on that. And so making me confused right now, or making anybody confused about reading that. And yeah, so. And then Noah sort of behaves strange like any possessed person would. And this is where every horror movie, this sort of situation, it starts to get more crazier towards them. Because when you find out the truth, more things start to unravel, more craziness goes on. And this is the part where it got kind of better. I wouldn't say good, and it wasn't really gripping me, but then it got kind of brutal. Yeah, when Noah and Luna starts to... Because Sarah was looking for this locket. I was going to say Sarah, I said so. I'll say Sarah. Need to make up my mind. So Sarah is sort of looking for the locket, and Noah sort of taunts her and says, you're looking for a locket? Well, come with me, it's in the back garden. So they go there, and as she's digging, they sort of trick her. I think Noah had it around her neck. She sort of gets hit with a shovel. I kind of knew she was going to dig up with her own grave. I had a feeling. It was so obvious. It was just too easy to actually for her to look for that. They're not going to give it to her like that. I mean, Jolly, a parent must know when their kid is acting weird. Surely they start saying stuff like, Mommy, I'm going to play outside now. And I want to be by myself. Like, if they start talking like that, that's concerning. That's like another influence talking to them. It's like someone forcing them to say something. And then something brutal happens where Noah didn't want to kill her auntie, so Luna did it for her. Kept hitting on the head kept hitting her face with the shovel. It was brutal. And then when Noah started to look at Luna sort of turned into like some big demon dude or whatever it was. I don't know how to describe it. And still nobody managed to find Sarah's body, which is a shame. I thought they would have. I thought Alyssa McCall was going to be going to back on to sea, but it turns out they never actually found her body. And another brutal scene where Noah, I don't agree. I didn't expect this type of movie to be this brutal. But hey, it's a horror movie. It's gonna have stuff like this, and you see that two dogs that but like trying to eat like the crops in the garden or whatever it was, and she sort of kicks like the dog's head, and you see another scene where she sort of hits the dog with a shovel. I think she did it with a shovel anyway, and sort of brutally killing the dog. And it's a horrible scene. They only showed the dog's body, but they didn't show up into the dog's head. That was kind of messed up to add in a movie like this. I didn't expect it. I go into these movies blindly, and bear in mind, I don't think I've seen any scene of this on TikTok. I didn't hear about this movie at all. I added it because it's a horror and it looked good. It was decent for me, but it didn't. I mean, I thought might as well watch it. I'd give anything a go that looks good to me. And yeah, then towards the end it starts to get good. Bear that in mind too. You also bear in mind as well. I just want to mention something. There was a scene where I think Sarah was at like a shop or something, and she comes across like a box full of like Victoria's stuff, opens it, and there's like a mask, like a witch's mask. And as I was seeing it, and I was looking at the mask thinking, I swear that's like the mask they used from the Witches episode of Doctor Who from like 20 years back, if I remember correctly. I'm sure it was some Doctor Who. I mean, maybe it's a different mask, but it's sure as hell it looks like it. I remember that episode very well. It was the 3 witches in that Shakespeare episode of Doctor Who. Yeah, I remember that episode pretty well. Not my favourite episode, but it was still something I remember. I'm pretty sure that's it as well. So that's nothing to point out. So all these points out to being like a witch or something like that. And yeah, as the movie goes on, you see Alicia just get a bit stressed out, and she talks about how Noah's granddad died. And this also plays a part in the movie too, because there's a bit of flashbacks to it. I can't lie on that one. I also forgot to mention that I think there's a scene where I think it was either Sarah or Alicia without their cousin. I think they're doing something, and they want them to look in the mirror, like they told them to look in the mirror because their eyes were all black. I mean, she wants to control them. And yeah, so she explained how Noah's granddad passed, and it's sort of similar to what happens towards the end. And if you want, you can watch a movie and then come watch my review, or watch my review first and watch the movie. I've said it before in one of my videos. It's your choice what you want to do in that sort of situation. But yeah, I did the way that even that death was kind of a bit mad, to be honest. Especially towards the end, where I thought it got a little bit better, probably good you could say. And she sort of like goes into like, the attic, and she sees that the mask, like a goat mask or something you would call it. It's typical what those ritual people were, where they're trying to summon like Satan or whatever. They were, I think it's a goat or something. They wear those goat masks. That's how you know someone's into that sort of stuff, is when they have stuff like that. And that sort of moves to the floor. She sort of comes across her mum, Victoria, which have a sip of tea. I don't want it to get cold, after I finish recording this. And then she sort of has a fight with like a possessed mum, you could say, and it was a bit mad, this fight too, to be honest. I can respect this part of the movie, and you see her fall to the ground, and towards the end, and I mean, I would assume Mikhail got the call because he was straight home, because he was like fixing like the school electricity. Because that one guy died for trying to do it, which was kind of a brutal scene where Luna runs and just nearly knocks him off the ladder, but he gets electrocuted. I was about to forget to mention that part, unless I did already. Don't think I did, but it doesn't matter anyway. So, and then you see sort of Mikhail go down the basement, which is how the granddad also died. I thought he died too, because they did like a comparison. It's like a comparison thing where at the same time they do it like how they did in the flashback, and you see the granddad die, and then the horns just pierce through his neck, that's a brutal way to go. I didn't think that would probably kill you, to be quite honest with you. I mean, unless it's through the neck. I mean, it was through here, this part. Actually, to be fair, but it would be. I mean, yeah, I guess you could die quickly from that, but I don't know. And then you see like, I think that Victoria, I think that's it, because that's a younger version of her, so it's like getting a bit upset, and you see the kids just there, just like all shocked and horrified, and they blame it on her. But then Mikhail didn't have that sort of treatment. He goes down, he sees, I don't know what he saw when he went down to the basement. It's not really, they didn't really show that one clearly. They just show him just like coming to Alicia's rescue. Yeah, after she gets hurt down and then on the floor from the attic, and then she tries and she looks at her, her mum just there in the bed, and then her daughter Nora comes in and says, you should have, why did you not turn the life support machine off? And she starts getting all crazy, and then she starts going on top of her grandma and just trying to make sure she actually dies, which is quite mad. I think she was like waiting. Alicia turns off the turns it back on, and she sort of has a fight with her own daughter and says, oh, leave my daughter alone. She's just trying to strangle her. And there's a fight that comes in. Mikhail also comes in, and it sort of has like a bit of like like a fight as well in this sort of scene. Bit of confusion though. Before this happens, Noah, I think, like, Noah sort of talks to her grandma, but it didn't like her grandma was dead, which kind of confused me in this scene. It's basically the scene where they start talking, the radio is on, and Victoria sounds kind of demonic, and that's why Alicia had to call Mikkel. So I had to mention that part in case any of you gets confused why this is all jumpy. I'm jumping to like scene after scenes because I want to make sure I get everything accurate, so it makes sense. And then, but she's having a fight once you're trying to fight with the door, you see like Victoria just come into her and starts fighting. This scene kind of confusing because no one starts fighting after all this, and you sort of see that Mikkel starting to fight with Victoria and start trying to cut her, and obviously Alicia's gonna be like, don't kill her. It's instinct though. Someone's trying to attack you, and it's in this sort of situation you're gonna end up dying from it. The person's dead to kill you. That's intent. And when there's a bit of a pause after he doesn't. After Victoria sort of blocks his next swing with the sword. Oh, this scene is, oh my god, it hurts my middle of my fingers here just thinking about middle of my knuckles. She sort of rips, she sort of pulls this out together like that. Oh, painful. These demons have too much strength, man. That I'm surprised he wasn't screaming in pain throughout. I know it's acting, but I know it's sort of fake, but that would hurt me. Jesus. And then the Noah comes in, and then he resorts to because she was on his back, and he just folds her out the window. She's still alive surprisingly. And then Victoria, I think she might have ended up passing. It wasn't quite clear on this one. Then you see them at the hospital, and yeah, you see her just off the mask and stuff. Alicia sort of friends are saying, don't come near my family again, and you'll never get to see your granddaughter again. This is stuff I wouldn't talk too much. Yeah, that could come out to haunt you. And you see a scene which was confusing because Noah was in the bed, so I was thinking, okay, she's still alive. But then you saw a scene of Noah actually going to see, her grandma in the bed basically. And sort of saying, I miss you, grandma, you're my protector, and granddad will be here too, he loves you, he's a good man. I was thinking, that makes no sense, because surely he should be older, right? So that's a bit weird, and their spirits, I mean, then again, spirits probably don't age because they're dead, so I don't know. But then after she, that the grandma doesn't say anything, and then she turns around, and this guy's some sort of demon looking creature, like a I don't know, I wouldn't call it the devil or Satan, but it's just something evil. So she got tricked to say goodbye to her, I guess. But then it was all a nightmare, which threw me off actually. I thought that was actually, I thought she actually passed away, that was a cool scene. Yeah, then the ending was just pretty much just them leaving, I guess. It would be nice if the ending where they were in the car and she sort of does something to the car, makes it flip and then kills them. Do you see every horror movie is like that where, oh, it's all over, but it's not though. That's what I love about these horror movies, it's not over. It kind of was a bit disappointing for me, to be honest, in that ending. And yeah, that's it, to be honest. If I missed out anything, I do apologise. There's probably some scenes that I missed out. One important scene actually, to be honest, in this movie was when Noah said that, the guy's missing a finger, the guy that was talking about their will. Now, I didn't notice the guy missing a finger, but then the camera panned to the guy's hand. I didn't notice anything, right? I probably wasn't paying attention. And that's significant because Alicia just ends up, I think it was Alicia that opens the wardrobe, that's locked, and she sees a box. Could be quite careful because it could be a Dybbuk box, right? If you don't know what that is, it's a way to summon that's with demons are kept and stuff like that. It's hard to explain, but it's along those lines. And she sort of opens it, it's like a finger. But it wouldn't make any sense why the guy that came over, maybe he's a relative. I don't think he's a relative. You're just talking about the inheritance or something. So so it probably is that guy's finger, isn't it? I don't know. I really don't know where the finger came from. Unless a relative of theirs lost a finger. I just didn't pay attention to that bit either. But that's significant. I have to mention the significant scenes in this too. You know, another creepy scene where Mikhail and Nora walks out the door and Victoria's bell starts going off. But then, don't, because she can't actually move her hand. So she just there, just sleeping. I think she's like in some sort of coma. Unless she actually can move, but we just don't notice. We don't sort of see it. That literally confused me a little bit. So yeah, the ending. I mean, towards the end, but there's one ending where it says missing kids or something. I don't really know why that was significant, because the movie was just about some possession in a home, and it wasn't really about anybody that's missing. So I didn't really catch that. Maybe there was something that I missed out and it was related to the movie. I don't know why. It didn't feel relevant to me. So this video, I wasn't planning to make this video this long. Rating, I know it got good. I wasn't feeling it. It's decent. Again, I kind of needed more. I mean, the end part was the only part that there wasn't much towards the end. At least in the movie I watched yesterday, Homefront, at least it had some craziness at the end, which upped the rating by 1. Not really much happened at the end, and it got okay, it got a bit better. Again, I wasn't feeling it. Would I recommend this movie? Probably not, but decent movies I would allow because they're decent. I would allow those. I probably wouldn't I wouldn't recommend every decent movie I've seen, because it might not be for everyone's cup of tea, it might be a bit dull. But there's some decent movies which has a bit to it, which I would, you know, recommend, which I've done in my other videos before. So yeah, 7, I think 7 out of 10 is fair enough. I think acting was pretty decent for this movie. You know, I'll say that a few odd jump scares, but it wasn't effective. I kind of think there was less. There was less happening. Needed more. I think this movie needs more. It's missing something. So missing a bit more horror elements to it, missing a bit more craziness. I know that every movie has to be like that, but there needs to be more elements of that. It didn't really get me off my seat. There was a lack of focus in me watching the movie. So yeah, you know, I guess 7 is quite fair. No, it's questionable, because it could be a rating higher or it could be a rating lower. So it's a questionable 7 out of 10. So you might rate it differently. So yeah, anyways, 7 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in the next video.